Welcome back and good morning, my dear students. Let's get started with full stack web application development using JSP part number 18 of the series. Right, without wasting much of your time, I must congratulate you for coming so far. We're just on the verge of becoming good developers, right? And you just require to do some good experimenting and do something that you want, and then try and search for the problems that may occur while doing the project, right? Because even if you study for 20 years, yet if you're not doing any project, and it's not easy to be a developer as well, because it takes hell. It takes project, because whatever you have learned and practiced, you'll forget each and everything in next 2 months if you do not complete a project, right? Or you can do it on your own, right? And take small problems and try to find solutions and experiment for those, because experimenting is what makes developer. Classes, lectures will never make you developers. It takes a lot, right? So congratulations for coming so far, right? So we're on the verge of completing JSP. So we still have some important topics of servlets pending before we start with enterprise Java. Right, so let's get completed. Let's get going on and let's complete. I have a lot of tongue twisters these days because of Ramadan, right? So let's get going and complete full stack web application development login module today, right? So this is where we left it from, all right? So it's here, all right? So we protected all the pages, all right? So we have to just go and develop a login one now, maybe. If I go directly to profile, I am thrown back. You're not authorized to visit this page. If I go back to profile settings, I'm thrown back. You're not authorized to visit this page. So it's Fahim Khan and password. Doesn't matter whether you're having remember me or not, right? Because we haven't gone for cookies yet. All right, so all right. Now we have this common header. What we can do, we can open this common header right here. All right, so we have this common header. I'll go to header.jsp, and I have this main navigation.jsp as well. Srinagar Center is here in the S side. And what I can do right here, so let me see that hello is coming underneath this section. Hello. Okay, now it's coming here. All right, so what if I say it just near the logo? Yeah, it's absolutely all right. Okay, let me create a section right here. All right, let me inline style. I'll take it to CSS file afterwards. I don't want it line styling anymore, right? So I'll say float right, and I'll drop hello here. Where is it? I don't know. Float right. Okay, I don't have to do it in the wrapper, but sorry. So I have to drop it in the main header directly, right? Okay, let's go to that. Now you can see that you're getting hello right here. And now what I do here, I am going to call something very dramatic here, right? And that dramatic is going to be accounts controller. I'll go to accounts controller. All right. What's in the session? So I'll say private string get logged in user, right? Okay. Right, so we have private string get logged in user. So I'm going to supply users user, maybe right here. Maybe if it's required, so I can say if Let me call the session. So I'll say HTTP session is equivalent to user dot get request dot get session. Right, and now you can say if session dot get attribute, what is the name of the session? Auth session, maybe, yeah, auth session, right, is not equivalent to null, right? And I can say if it's not equivalent to null, what is this auth session, and why does it have small n here? I don't know. Right, if session.get attribute is not equivalent to null, what I got to do is return, right, what is in the session? Okay, we'll say return session dot get attribute, right, and that's absolutely fine. Right, so I will say else return no, and here I'll do dot to string. Right, so now these things are done. Now let me go to the header and let me make it static. Get logged in user. So I will just open scriptlets and I will say I will say accounts controller dot what is this, get, so is it private? Did we make it private? Oh my god, carnage. That's carnage. Public static. Okay, so now we'll say get logged in user and will not hesitate in passing the object of the user right here. So let's see if we print that out, what are we getting? Fahim Khan. Right, and we are also getting 23. What is 23? My ID. All right, so how do you basically take that ID out? All right, because you need ID, and let me just do a substring, or let me create two sessions basically. All right. Alright, so let's keep it like this only. We'll do it later on. Accounts controller. So I want to create a new session. Alright. So user.set message get. I don't want to get an ID and comma. So let's delete this ID and comma here. I repeat, let us delete this ID and comma. It's a very bad idea of mine. So we'll do another thing. User.get request dot get session dot set attribute. So we call this auth ID, and here it takes user dot get user ID. So key is going to be auth ID, and it shall take user dot get user. We're starting two sessions now, auth ID and auth session, right? So that's much better. That's much better. Okay, let's log in again. Right, so now we're getting name here, right? So I'll go to this, so else return blank. All right. Okay, now I'll go back to my header.jsp. All right, so we can do this, and I'll type it here SIGNOUT, sign out. Let's see. Now you're getting sign out, Fahim Khan, right? And this is where you're getting sign out, Fahim Khan. So let me do this right here in scriptlet. So I will say, hey, if session dot get attribute auth session is not equivalent to null, right? If it is not equivalent to null, then you got to do, let me have complete scriptlets here, then you got to do this, right? If, okay, let me take, if session.get attribute auth session is not equivalent to null, so 1 2, so it's not equivalent to null, you're trying to close it down, accounts controller dot get logged in user, right? So that's absolutely fine. Is not equal to blank, I suppose it's not null. If it is session dot get attribute auth session is not equivalent to blank and then accounts, so I can use this out dot print right, so you can say out dot print accounts controller dot get logged in, right, user. So now let's see what is problem here. If a session, I don't know, try and catch, where is this? Okay, I don't get it now. If session.get attribute auth session is not, so we're running a simple conditional constructor. Why are you giving me an exception on conditional construct? That's carnage. Maybe the session name is wrong, so I'll have to copy it again. Auth session, okay, fine. I'll go back to header and see if session dot get attribute auth session, right? So I don't get it. Okay, I'm not closing down the if statement here. It doesn't show valid errors also. So now we can see out.println, right? So I'll say out.println signout sign out, and I can use plus right here. We're getting sign out Fahim Khan, right? So I can say log out Fahim Khan can be also done. Yeah, log out Fahim Khan, right? Okay, fine. So now I will type it down here, out.println logout ahref is equivalent to logout.jsp, right? Alright, so this is going to be my logout and ahref. We are creating a hyperlink to logout dot and JSP, right, and we're passing this. At the end we will also say close down the anchor tag. That's it. Alright, okay, so we have to close it like this. Fine, so let's see now whether we're getting the anchor tag or not. Okay, we are getting, but what is the color? Logout Fahim Khan is coming. So what is the color? I don't, okay, you can see the A color is something else here, right? So color is not coming. So I can set the color here, no problem. You can say style equals color, color red, maybe, who knows? Yeah, logout Fahim Khan. So you can clearly see when you click, you go to logout.jsp, which is, I suppose, not here. Is it here? Yeah, it's not here. Right? It had to be. Right now this thing is done, and I will say else, right, if the session has not been started yet. Alright, so then you got to give me student login. So what will you say? Take me to student login.jsp. So the link is going to be as that of student login.jsp, and the color is going to be green, right? And out.println is going to be this without this, so we're going to have log in, right? So I can say student student login, right? So that way we're going to get student login here. Alright, so now you're getting log out. So now if I delete the session, let's say about I'll go to securities console and I'll delete the session. What if I delete this session, right? So I still get log out. So just a moment. Is not equivalent to empty, right? So you get this, or we can say is not equivalent to null, right? So it'll be much better. Yeah, now we are getting student login. So I'll click on student login, right? Login, click. Now you can see it's automatically going to be changed. You can see now log out. It's automatically going to change to log out. It doesn't matter which page you go to, you will get log out for him now. It doesn't matter. You go to about, you can go to about page, you can go to profile page. It doesn't matter which page you go to, you will still get this like this. So log out Fahim Khan, right? So you can, even if you want to keep Fahim Khan, you can keep it in the bold text. But yeah, so now we have to prepare logout.jsp. All right. All right, let's quickly go and prepare logout.jsp. Go to projects, new JSP, and I call this as logout. Delete all. Right? So this is what you have to do. Right? So I will say if session dot if session dot get attribute, what's the name? Session. So let me take both the sessions from accounts controller. One is auth session, another is auth ID. So I'll take both the sessions. If session.get attribute is not equivalent to null, then do this. So the second is going to be the same. If right auth ID is not equivalent to null, then do this. So I will say session dot remove attribute, right? So I can say auth session dot remove attribute auth ID, and what you can do is response dot send a redirect back to student login, right? What's the page? Student, yeah, send the redirect back to student login dot JSP, and this time I will be sending ID is equal to HA1 maybe any number, right? So now you can say logout. Now you go student login dot JSP, ID is equal to 111. Now you get student login back, means that you have been successfully logged out. Now let me go back to student login, and I say if, right? I will say else if request.get parameter ID is equivalent to 111, as we have just passed 111, right? Now what do you want in that case? Would you please tell me? What are your demands and requirements in that case? Please tell me. So my requirements in that case are that I want to do this. Message is equivalent to successfully logged out. So you can type this, successfully logged out, and you are getting successfully logged out. Now if you want to get the user who has been successfully logged out, if you want to get the particular user who has successfully logged out, all right, you can even pass that. Now you can clearly see right here in logout, right? So you can say if it is done, then you can say user is equivalent to, right, session.get attribute or session which has the name of the user who is logged in, right? So this user is string user, right? So I can say dot the string. Now I'll say this user will be passed here as a second parameter, and I'll say and user is equivalent to, right, and I'll say user is equal to plus user, right? So this is very much, so I'll say string user is equivalent to something blank, right? I'll say here user is equivalent to this, right? So let's try it again, okay? And let's go back to student login and try and log in. Fahim Khan, PSSWRD password. Alright, welcome to profile page, and now I click logout. Now you can see that you are even getting the name as Fahim. Ampersand 20 means it's a space dash Khan. So what I do right here, right, I will go back to my student login, message successfully logged out, but who has been successfully logged out, right? So I can say request.get parameter. Okay, I'll say request.get parameter name plus, right? Okay, I can say name is Fahim or whatever name it is, successfully logged out. We are now fetching name from the URL. Now you can see null successfully logged out. So request.get parameter name, is it name? No, it's user, user. So I'll say user. Now let's see what are we getting. Fahim Khan successfully logged out. Right, now you can log in back. So you can say please PSSWRD password. So we are logged in. Log out. Fahim Khan successfully logged out. So now after logout, if I try and go directly to student login, that's absolutely fine. But now if I try and go to let's say about profile, I'm thrown back. You're not authorized to visit this page. If I go to student login, if I go to profile settings, I'm thrown back. You're not authorized to visit this page. So this is how it this is how it works, right? And now what we got to do is cookie. So this is your homework. Please send me the complete matter. What you have to do now, what you need to do now is you need to go and set cookies here in authorize, right? So I've already shown you. Now, how do you distinguish between setting a cookie and not setting a cookie? That's absolutely fine. You can see if user dot get remember, so everything else is done, dot equals, right? If user dot remember dot equals on, right? Then what they got to do is set the cookie, else, right, what they got to, because you have to set this auth ID in both the ways, right? Else what you got to do is set this. So now you can clearly see here what you have to do is start a cookie, and that's pretty easy. I don't know, right, what is more difficult in here. So I'll say password is password, right? So I'm redirected back. So now log out, Fahim Khan. So I log out, I go back to login page, Fahim Khan is successfully logged out. Now cookie has to be created here. So I'll just mark it down here. Alright, I can say cookie code. Cookie code goes in here. So now, right, if it's on, then you have to create a cookie. I'll show you the sample. If I do system.out.println, so I'll say user.get remember, right? So system.out.println user.get remember. So let's see if I print that out. I'll go to glass fish, clear, cream can, password, right? So we are getting it right here. So now if I say remember me, so if I type remember me, for example, what do I get? No, I'm not getting anything. So let's see, getting true or false. Let me directly first get what are we getting, I don't know, and then use this if else. So first let us see what are we getting. Alright, so let me log out. Right, let's see. True. Oh, sorry, I'm getting true. So if dot equals true, we had to keep it boolean, but yeah, if it is true then this, if it is not then this. Yeah, it's absolutely fine now. Alright, you're not authorized to visit, yeah, because it's not created, right? Now you can clearly see it is true, right? And now if I say I don't click remember me, then I'll be happy to sign in, right? As simple as anything, right? So now that is the main funda. Why did we basically post to the self page? Why are we posting to the self page in here? You tell me, right? We're posting to the self page here, no? You can clearly see that we're posting to the self page, right? If you go to the account.js, you can clearly see we're posting to the self page, means the student login page itself. It's only because to set the cookie. If we post to some other page, for some reasons, I don't know, cookie doesn't get started, right? So that's basically the reason. What I want you to create an algorithm to remove the cookie here, right? Integrate that algorithm for removing the cookie, and what I want from you guys to also edit this account's controller right here to start a cookie, which would be there for maybe a month or so on, whatever you want to say, right? And that's it. What do you want? What else more is there? Yeah, second thing, that after the login, why are you even if login has happened, why is login coming, right? Why are you even if the session is already started, right? So that is the main issue right here. If the session has started, right, why are you even bothered about logging in? Why are you even showing the login page? You should not show the login page after the login is. So you can control that as well. So that is what your task is. Let me take a look at timing. So we still have good amount of time. So let me say, for example, I don't want to see this if the login has happened, right? So we have already created many documents here, or many functions. So this is authorize, is authentic, is valid, is internally checked. Now we have this here, private static void is authorized, right? Now if the user is already authorized, why are you going to do that, right? So you can see protected page, we'll check is authorized, right? So we will say public static void show login, right? So it takes one parameter, users. Do you want to show the login page or not? So I'll do the same here, all right? So you can clearly see, right, if the session is not equivalent to null, if the auth session is not equivalent to null. So we're creating two sessions, so that's why I'm creating a different function right here, right? And I have to check for the second session, which is this, right, auth ID session, right, because we may require ID in the near future. So I'll say and right, a session dot get. Okay, why are we doing session dot get attribute? My God, how is it possible? user. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Session dot get attribute will work when we copy this. Right, so I'll say session dot get attribute auth ID and session dot get attribute auth ID, right, is not equivalent to null. If they both are started, right, if this is not equivalent to null and that is not equivalent to null, I will say response response dot send. Where do you get the response from? My god, user dot get response dot we can say user dot get response dot send redirect. Where do you want to send redirect to? User dot get response dot send redirect. And where do you want to send this redirect to? I will say profile.jsp. Fine, so we have to catch this exception right here. Throw the exception. Fine, so now I'll call this show login here. Alright, so the first thing that I will do is go and check accounts controller dot show login and pass the user object, and that's it. Now what is the problem? Oh my god, after config.jsp is included. No, that's wrong. Alright, because config.jsp is already there, so that's where the problem is. I'll say right here, so let me just keep this here as well. Yeah, this is going to create problems, so why don't I just have it here. I'll have to pass an object session here because I don't want to show this. Right, so instead of passing this, I'll pass session and I will pass a request, right? So I have to pass two objects. Yeah, I'll pass two objects, session dot, or I can say this. Because you're setting user in config.jsp, right? So that's the problem here. So I'll say user dot. Okay, let's not create any function right here. So that means we may have to hard code it. So that's because there's a problem that config is creating some problems in here. Okay, it is a static function that uses session. We have to only pass request. HTTP session to user dot get request and response. No, we have to pass both request and response. So that means we'll have to pass it here. So I will say user dot user equals new user. So I'll say users u. So it's going to create problem now, right? So I'll say u dot set request, and I may say u dot set response, because you're including config on post only, so that okay, now it's absolutely fine. So now you are logged out, so let's log in and say password. Now you have been successfully logged in. Now if I go back to student login.jsp, I may not be able to go. Now you can see I go back to student login.jsp, I'm thrown out, and I go back to profile.jsp. I don't want to show that because it's actually I'm already logged in. Why would you show that? Now we can get a nice image here because the next class is going to be of profile management. This is the first time we are going to start something new, right? Because I have tried my level best to even I tried my level best to even we can say recap and revise whatever I can to the maximum extent possible under me, but yeah, it's your duty to practice it very hard, and because now we are going to start new things, right? So those new things are never seen before, and never done before MySqli, right? And what I want you to be completely synchronized with me, right? So please do not forget to be synchronized with me. We will be going for file upload, profile management, right? And we may add few in this project. We may try and add few attributes of Facebook, like add a friend and follow, right? So that may be done, and maybe messaging can be done also, only if you are synchronized with me, right? So tomorrow, please submit the work along with cookie management. So I shall be very grateful, and I shall be very happy eventually if you go and submit right, that cookie management also, right? Now what you got to do there is, let me be very frank and very simple. For example, if I go, okay, now dogs are barking, now someone has bitten him, right? Oh my god. All right, now so now what you got to do is, now we have this profile page. So this is what I am going to start tomorrow from. I'm going to manage a nice profile page. Maybe we may have a nice cover photo and nice let's say about profile image of a user here, and you may be able to check the user, right? Or maybe visit the user, follow the user, right? Following the user will expose whatever the user shares in your wall. So that's what we are going to do here tomorrow, inshallah, right? But for that, even the cookie section is very mandatory to be completed. And the third section that we will be making is the admin section. So that's we have already made it, I suppose. Yeah, admin is already there. So we'll take this login screen now to the admin section, and we'll make a new admin section as well. So it will have dashboard, right, and it will have different things. In admin section, we are going to make three things: dynamic pages, and we are going to make dynamic news and dynamic notification section also, right, so that you follow that up, right? So please complete and be in sync with me, completely synchronize yourself with me, right? Because tougher things are coming ahead. Not tougher, but lengthier things are coming. Programming was never tough. It was always fun programming, right? So maybe some lengthy and some maybe time consuming, and wherein you have to consume a lot of energy and patience, burn your midnight oil to just complete assignments, right, is coming. So that's only possible when you complete all the previous assignments. Please email me. I shall be waiting. Bye bye. Take care for tomorrow.